man. Let me see something right quick. I probably got to do this. You know what I'm saying? Let me see, bro. See something right quick? All right, I was going to do it scary, but I got to do this one right here. Y'all want Michael Myers part 2? Oh, okay. But I got to do this right here. What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Jay Willie Silly, man. AKA Mr. Take It Easy. Before you end up like Beezy, make sure y'all follow my Twitch, subscribe to my second channel. You know, everything you need to know about your boy Jay, it's in the description down below, you know. And oh my God, Falcons. Oh, I thought McDaniels, you know, was the guy. I thought y'all was finna get the OC from the Seahawks. Falcons, I mean, this isn't really like, and I appreciate the sub, man. I appreciate the sub, but this isn't a bad hire, okay? And I told my boy Keon, you know what I'm saying? Keon, I know Keon watching this, you know what I'm saying? I told my boy Keon, because Keon was freaking out. Y'all know my boy Key the Freak. Shout out my boy Key the Freak. You know what I'm saying? But Key was freaking out. Y'all know he the biggest Falcons fan, right? I was telling y'all, bro, I'm like, bro, Falcons fans, chill the freak out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really not even a bad hire. He's a top 3 candidate. Y'all got to understand, he won Coach of the Year with the Browns. You know what I mean? Y'all know how trash the Browns was. Now I'm just going to tell you this. He ain't John now. You know what I mean? He ain't John. Because John, oh, we finna have some fun. You know what I'm saying? He ain't John now. I'm going to tell you that for surely. You know what I'm saying? So I know you probably want to John. He ain't John, so don't get your hopes up that high. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? He is a top 3 coaching candidate. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of y'all Falcons fans, you know, I'll be real with the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I tell Keon this all the time. I feel like Michael Penis is terrible. You know what I mean? He already has knees problems and he's 25. You got an old sophomore now. He was a rookie last season. He was a rookie. I don't care. He was a rookie this season. He barely played the season before last. He was a rookie and he already has knees problems. You know what I mean? He's going on 26 years old. You have an old quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So it's either now or never, you know? But Bijan Robinson, man, I'm not going to lie. That cat right there, man. Oh, my God. But that cat right there is a monster. Honestly, I'll take Bijan Robinson. Honestly, I don't care about the rushing yards. I feel like Bijan Robinson is the best running back in the NFL, point blank, period. I don't give a F about the rushing yards. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that the Falcons is just, you know, even on Falcons K, you know what I mean? Dirty Birds K, Falcons K, you know what I'm saying? But I just think Falcons fans just kind of just freaking out a little bit. And I'm real, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate on the ops, bro. There's one thing I ain't never going to do is hate on the ops. I just tell you how I feel. Do I feel like the Falcons is BJ? Most definitely. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't going to change that until I see y'all make the playoffs in over 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. You know, so I don't want you to think this is a moment between us where, no, that's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Do I feel like Michael Penis is BJ? Oh, yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, Falcons fans, I think you're kind of going overboard with this hire. I think he is going to be better than Raheem Morris. I just think that. If he won Coach of the Year with the Browns, what do you think he can do with the Falcons? You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying, bro. I just think a lot of y'all just mad because we ended up getting John and y'all didn't. I just feel like y'all wanted John. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all didn't get John, you got mad. You know what I'm saying? And just like, okay, now since we didn't get John, every other coaching candidate is BJ. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think it is.
More breaking news out of the NFL on Saturday night.
I got a question. Why do y'all want an unproven head coach? Why do y'all want I realize, bro, he's doing his thing, bro. He's doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? I realize that. He's doing his thing, bro, with the Seahawks. But I'd rather take a proven head coach than an OC. I don't understand, like, even with Key, I don't understand what y'all fascination is when it comes to the Seahawks offensive coordinator. I realize he called good plays, but you got to realize Raheem Morris was also a stellar defensive coordinator with the Rams and actually won him a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is like, just because he's a good OC don't mean he's going to be a good head coach. He's proven that he can be a good head coach. So I'd rather have a seasoned head coach than an unproven head coach any day. So I'd rather Kevin Stefanski over freaking the offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? At the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? Kubiak. I just rather that. I'd rather Mike McDaniels over Kubiak. I'm just saying. Just because you are a good coordinator, that doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be a good head coach. And I get what you're saying. Raheem Morris, he was BJ. But y'all got him as a defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams, and he won the Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams. And I can promise y'all thought that Raheem Morris was going to be spectacular, and he turned out to be BJ.
Where the Atlanta Falcons are finalizing a deal to make Stefanski their next head coach.
You can't act like Raheem Morris wasn't just as good as Kubiak.
Was fired after this season after going 8-20.
That's all I'm saying.
Last 2 years.
What is Kubiak? Look, what is Kubiak doing
in 2 years
different from Raheem Morris? What Raheem Morris was doing with the Rams? Raheem Morris made the Rams defense look crazy. Kubiak making the offensive. Kubiak making the freaking Seahawks offense look crazy. That's all I'm saying.
And I turn to lead NFL insider Jonathan Jones first. What can you tell us the function of how this came together, Kevin Stefanski and the Atlanta Falcons?
So, been a lot of conversations between Kevin Stefanski and new president of football, Matt.
Hey, and like I said, look, PJ, that's what I just said. And when it comes to Brian Daboll, y'all see what Brian Daboll literally produced Josh Allen. Brian Daboll was literally had the Bills as a top 10 offense in the freaking league. Now look at Brian Daboll. That's all I'm saying, bro. I just feel like, bro, head coach is totally different from an offensive coordinator. Head coach, you got to hire staff. You got to assemble a good defensive coordinator, a good offensive coordinator. You got to make good DB coach hires. All that runs through the head coach. As an offensive coordinator, all you got to do is worry about one job, your job. You ain't got to worry about hiring and putting up this heck of a staff. You just got so much more responsibilities being a head coach than an offensive coordinator. All I got to do is worry about my job. So you're going to get the best out of me. You know what I'm saying? But when you're a head coach, you got to worry about everybody. You're literally the boss on the field. You know what I'm saying? You're the boss on the field, bro. You feel me? That's what you got to understand. That's why a lot of these offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators don't become successful head coaches, because the job and the opportunity is too big for them. They thought it was just going to be peaches and cream, but dang, freak, bro. Everything runs through me. You know what I'm saying? Literally me. But when I was at the Seahawks, it was only, you know what I'm saying? Only had to worry about the offensive court. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of respect within that Atlanta Falcons.
That's all I'm saying, man. I read the Kevin
Stefanski has done
in the offensive coordinator.
Years with the Cleveland Browns, obviously. This past season, when he had 4 quarterbacks but didn't really have one quarterback, certainly not holding against him the record there in Cleveland this past season. So this started to look like it could happen late this morning. And the Atlanta Falcons wanted to move quickly. Kevin Stefanski had some other interviews that were set up into the future. They didn't want him to get to those interviews. He arrived in Atlanta. They interviewed him, Matt Ryan, along with Greg Beatles, the team president, as well as Arthur Blank, Josh Blank, his son, who holds a VP title there, among other members of leadership with the Falcons. And they decided that they need Kevin Stefanski, who, as a head coach, he can be the offensive play caller. He can have an OC who calls plays. He did both while he was in Cleveland to varying degrees of success. And they believe that with the talent on offense, that they will be able to succeed in a very, very winnable NFC South. And lastly, at defensive coordinator, while they let some of their assistants under Raheem Morris interview other places.
I ain't gonna lie, I would have tried to get Raheem Morris back at defensive coordinator, bro, if I was Kevin Stefanski. I'll try to hit Raheem Morris up. You know what I'm saying, about being defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll do. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Try to make, and then I hit up Brian Daboll to be the offensive coordinator, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just me, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, you said your DC is great. All right, keep your DC. For me, you know what I mean? For me, bro, you know what I'm saying? I will, you know what I'm saying? I will go after Brian Daboll or Mike McDaniels as an offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Because your offensive coordinator, bro, is BJ this year. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? For me, I'll go after Brian Daboll or Mike McDaniels. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, that Mike McDaniels is going to get a head coaching job. Whether it's the Browns, the Titans, Steelers, you know what I'm saying, the Ravens. There's so many freaking head coaching jobs open, bro. So I'm pretty sure you're going to go for a head coaching job. before a coordinator job, you know?
They said, no, you can't talk to Jeff Ulbrich, our defensive coordinator. It is very possible, if not likely, he will be retained as the defensive coordinator there in Atlanta.
Dang. Y'all probably lose y'all freaking defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, and that right there is a tragedy of getting a new coach, that he is not his hire. Y'all probably be losing y'all defensive coordinator, bro. Dang.
Not likely he will be retained.
That's crazy.
Ulbrich, our defensive coordinator. It is very possible, if not likely, he will be retained as the defensive coordinator there in Atlanta.
A lot of pieces in place in Atlanta for Stefanski to work with some of those offensive weapons. But Matt,
y'all probably don't have y'all defensive coordinator next year.
You allude to even murkier waters there in Cleveland when it came to quarterback. How do you like this fit specifically for Michael Penix and his future? Or does it even speed up the clock where Stefanski might say, I got to see it, or I want one of my guys?
Well, I like this fit for Michael Penix because, to your point, you look at the success Kevin Stefanski had sparingly in Cleveland. He had a real good relationship with the quarterbacks. Now, the last 2 seasons, you can't really say the same thing. The last 2 seasons, he's won 8 games. So I feel like Atlanta, they're making this hire basically telling us they believe it was more about the dysfunction that was around Kevin Stefanski than Kevin Stefanski as a head coach. So if you're Michael Penix, you get an opportunity to reset your clock over again. You get a fresh start. And I believe Kevin Stefanski accepted this opportunity knowing and believing he can get the most out of Michael Penix. Because if you come into this job for Atlanta, Michael Penix is going to be your quarterback for 2026. So you have to believe, based on this film you study, whatever it is that you viewed of Michael Penix, that, you know what, I see something in him. Yeah. Because there was a short moment when Baker Mayfield kind of unleashed his productivity while working with Kevin Stefanski. So maybe there's the same path for Michael Penix, seeing what he did with Baker Mayfield sparingly there in Cleveland. He can do some of the same things for him in Atlanta.
Stefanski and Baker now back in one another's proximity there in the South. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out in a division that has left us wanting more. How much do you think that factored into the decision for Stefanski, saying, I'm looking at the South, and if I could get this right.
Probably the last video, chat. Probably the last video.
Hold of this thing.
Oh, I think that was a big part of it. You saw how the Falcons finished this year, and for a lot of people's estimations, it was a down year, an underperforming year for the.
Oh man, I forgot Atlanta. I forgot. Y'all don't even have a first-round pick. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even have a first-round pick, man. That right there hurts y'all. Like, y'all picks, man, y'all gotta hit a home run. You know what I'm saying? Home run higher. Not higher, but pick, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that first round pick kills y'all tremendously. You know what I mean? That gave the Rams 2 first-round picks. Oh, man. That's going to kill you, bro. That first-round pick going to kill you. I don't care what no Falcons fans say. You need a first-round pick. I say trade up for a first round. You know what I'm saying? So that first round gave us James Pierce. Yeah, James Pierce, he was nice. I think he finished with 10 sacks this season. You know what I'm saying? But you still need more pieces, bro, with the Falcons, bro. You know what I'm saying? You need more pieces as a Falcon. You just need more pieces, bro. You still need a first round. I feel like you having a first round with James Pierce would have been special. And you just having James Pierce and not having the first round. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, I feel like you just need a first round pick. I just feel like that just has to happen. You know what I mean? With any team, no matter who you are, first round pick is mandatory. It's mandatory.
So for Kevin,
said Falcons need a new QB. In my opinion, they do. In my opinion, they missed with Michael Penix. He's very inaccurate, and he has bad knees. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, having bad knees, and he's already injury prone. You know what I'm saying? That's scary. You feel me? Like, you know, I just don't feel like Michael Penix is the guy. You know what I mean? You cannot tell me, you know what I mean, that Kirk Cousins ain't look better than Michael Penix, bro, this season. Even though they won dang near the same amount of games, Kyle Pitts looked 10 times better with freaking Kirk Cousins than Michael Penix. You know what I mean? And then your offense looked better with Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? So I started questioning like, dang, okay, is it the Falcons offense? Is it the coordinator? You know what I'm saying? Or is it Michael Penix?
When you look at the makeup of the NFC South.
Because when you got a quarterback that you just don't believe in, it makes things tricky. You know what I'm saying? It makes things tricky.
The Falcons. So for Kevin Stefanski, when you look at the makeup of the NFC South, you look at the
and Kyle Pitts is a free agent.
Regardless of the timeline for Michael Penix and his return from the knee injury, you've got Kirk Cousins sitting behind him who Stefanski has some similarities with from their time in Minnesota. So there's some parallels there for Kevin Stefanski. He's got to be, over the moon ecstatic about the roster that he's inherited. Bijan Robinson, Drake London.
I better hope Kyle Pitts come back, man.
What they're going to do with Kyle Pitts. But they've got some weapons on offense. They've got a lot of weapons on defense. Yeah. Finished the year strong this year. So they seem to be a piece away in Atlanta.
Oh, no, man.
I think it's the head coach, so it'll be interesting.
Showed up a little too late, man.
The move that gets them over the top to where they want to go.
And a well-established offensive line. Caleb McGarry missed the entire season, but he will be healthy. You got Matthews, you got Lindstrom. You got some guys that can move people against their will on the offensive line.
Sometimes all you got to do is find that first domino and give it a push. The Harbaugh falls, then the Stefanski. This is sort of the order of operations we expected.
That's right.
What do we see next?
Isn't it funny how we were talking about how weak of a coaching candidate pool this was going to be, and then some guys got fired, and now all of a sudden the two dominoes that have fallen, well, they were just head coaches a couple of weeks ago, right? So that is in.
Hey, bro, that's one thing I'm going to say about the Steelers, though. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to talk about the Steelers vacancy and how much the Steelers got to prepare for a downfall. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Steelers fans going to understand how important Mike Tomlin truly is. You know what I mean? Trust me, Steelers fans, bro. I had to learn the hard way with Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be the same without Mike Tomlin. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You feel me? So that's why I just want Steelers fans, I want to get y'all ready, bro, for mediocrity. You know what I mean? Trust me, bro. I had to learn the hard way when Nick Saban retired. I mean, that man was important. That man was important. And it shows. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, I don't know no head coach who's going to make the playoffs with Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett. And to be honest, bro, Mike Tomlin was making a playoff with bump quarterbacks. Think about it. You got Michael Vick when he was washed. You know what I'm saying? But other than Big Ben, what elite quarterback did Mike Tomlin have? That's what I'm saying. Bro just knew how to win. You don't get coaches like Mike Tomlin, bro, or John Harbaugh. You don't just let coaches like that walk away, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't get coach. That's a dime and a dozen coach, bro. I can promise you, any coach, most coaches are not winning with Mason Rudolph. You're not even touching the playoffs, and y'all barely went positive with Mike Tomlin. So what you think you finna do without Mike Tomlin? Word on the street, y'all fired all his staff. Arthur Smith gone. Everybody gone. Bro, Steelers, bro, I just want to let y'all know. Y'all is in a world of trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all is in a world of trouble, man. That's all I got to say. So I'm just worried about that Steelers. But like I said, Falcons, I feel like you're just going a little too overboard, bro. I don't feel like this is a bad hire. I feel like this is the best you could have got, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the hate is with realize you wanted an OC from Seahawks, but I just feel like y'all kind of just overdoing it. Rather a seasoned head coach and an OC any day. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you made the right hire. You know what I'm saying? But, people just like being negative. You know what I'm saying? So you just people just find any way to be negative. Oh, we didn't want Kevin. Now, what if Kevin comes out and have a winning season next year? Now you're going to be on Kevin meat now? The same people saying they don't want Kevin. Kevin come out and ball out for the Falcons. Now you're going to be on his meat now. No, stick to that. We don't want Kevin. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want Kevin. No, stick to that. You feel me? So that's all I'm saying, bro. I don't think it's a bad hire. You know what I'm saying? So
is what we are going to continue.
I just feel like y'all some ungrateful brats. You know what I'm saying? And that's the point. That's a point blank period. Y'all just some ungrateful brats. You know what I mean? Be glad you got a quarterback, because you know what? It's multiple teams that don't have, I said quarterback. Be grateful that you have a head coach, because it's some teams that don't got head coaches. It look like some teams finna go into the freaking draft, you know what I'm saying, without a head coach. It's a lot of uncertainty with a lot of teams. Just be glad you got some certainty. It look like, man, it's finna be some teams that go into next season with interim head coaches. That's what it's looking like. You know what I'm saying? So just be glad that you have structure. Be glad you're not the Steelers, the Ravens, the Titans, the Browns, the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? Glad you got somebody now.
To see across the NFL. Be prepared to see far more second-timers quote unquote retreads, get head coaching jobs instead of these new hot up and comers. Now, we will still see some of those.
I'm gonna keep it real. I am surprised that the Steelers and the Ravens still open. Is anybody else surprised? I am surprised that the Steelers job is open, and I am surprised that the Ravens job is open. You know what I mean? I did not expect the Falcons to get a head coach before the Steelers, before the Ravens. I am surprised that them two jobs is still open. I'm thinking y'all regretting fired John Harbaugh. I'm thinking y'all regretting that. Because it's finna come down to it. It's like, man, it's finna come down to it, man. Y'all finna get the worst head coaching candidate out of all candidates. You know what I'm saying? Like, who y'all finna get? Steelers, who the freak are y'all finna get? Ravens, who y'all finna get?
Right now, leading candidates in certain places. You look with the Miami Dolphins, a zero-time NFL head coach, but previous college football head coach Jeff Hafley appears to be the leader there in Miami with John Eric Sullivan as general manager. They work together in Green Bay. You look at the Tennessee Titans. Stefanski was right there in the running to be one of the three finalists or so there. Matt Nagy may be the guy in Tennessee as we continue to look at that. Cleveland still trying to figure out what they're doing. Talk about Kevin Stefanski. Maybe that's a Mike McDaniel, who winds up there. And then lastly, talking about Atlanta, because they have Matt Ryan now as president of football. They have Kevin Stefanski as head coach. They have a general manager. And that GM, while not the primary football executive to the league office, is still—
I'm reacting to you reacting without any football knowledge. Yeah. Right, and I promise you, I can promise you, Axel Xander, you watch every football reaction that I do. You know what I mean? But you just want attention. You just say I don't have football knowledge because I have a different opinion than you. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that people say, you know what I'm saying, about me, one thing people say is most of everything. I say opinions a little bit, but one thing that people say is I'm not a liar. That's one thing that people can say. I speak the truth more than I speak opinions. I have an opinion about certain things, like me saying Kevin Stefanski is a good hire. That is an opinion. But what I speak be facts 98% of the time. 2% of what I speak be opinions. So you can agree to disagree. But most of y'all be trying to argue with me and say I have no football knowledge when I speak facts. That's how you know the world is getting dumber and dumber, right? You know what I'm saying? That's how you know the world is getting dumber and dumber. Is when people try to argue with me about facts, bro.
Be the GM in a lot of respects.
Oh, you're talking about you. You know what I mean? Oh man, look, miscommunication, Axel. Miscommunication. I apologize, my brother. Thought you was talking about me. You know what I mean? Because I was finna say that was very blasphemy.
To fill that position, a lot of people think it's going to be Ian Cunningham.
So honestly, whatever, Axel, you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. So honestly, what Axel is saying, you're trying to learn about football. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to learn about football, this is the right place to be, brother. I know football more than anybody in that chat. I can promise you. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to know more about football, if you want to know more about NBA, bro, this is the place to be. I will inform you heavily about football.
General manager of the Chicago Bears. We'll see if that winds up taking place next week.
So that's the Iceman to Matty Ice, but business is done here in Atlanta for the first time.
Hey, your Bourvain, whatever your name is.
Matt Ryan identifies.
I know football way more than you, bro.
A look here at the coaching carousel that has come to rest in
Look at John Harbaugh. Yeah. Oh my God. And did y'all know that John, bro, I made a video about Harbaugh being our coach, bro. And he wasn't even our coach. Y'all know how nervous I was, bro? Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I could rarely sleep yesterday. All I was thinking about was John. All I was thinking about was John last night. You know what I'm saying? All I was thinking about was John. I couldn't sleep. When I realized that this deal was not finalized, I was thinking about John all night. I'm like, bro, this deal's not even finalized, bro. You know what I'm saying? My friend finna fire me if I don't hop on. I'm sorry. Oh, you good, bro? But, bro, all I was thinking about was John. So I made a video about us getting John Harbaugh, and the deal wasn't even freaking finalized, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if he would have went to another team, I would have been looking stupid, bro. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't finalized, but it just got finalized today. 5 years, $100 million contract. Shout out my boy John Harbaugh. But bro, look at all these Cardinals, Titans, Browns, Dolphins, Ravens. Oh, bro, Cardinals, Titans, Browns, Dolphins, Raiders, Ravens, Steelers, bro. This is probably the most open head coaching job I've ever seen. Like, I ain't never seen, you know what I'm saying, so many. Like I've never seen so many, bro, freaking head coaching jobs open, bro. If I was somebody, I'll try to go after Pete Carroll, but I ain't gonna lie, try to go after Pete Carroll.
Places, Stefanski to the Falcons, Harbaugh finally inking that deal.
I try to go after Pete Carroll.
Well, he will be the new head coach of the football giants. Cardinals, Titans, Browns, Dolphins, Raiders, Ravens, Steelers, not in that order, all now lining up.
All right, y'all, man, that is the end. You know what I'm saying? You know, like that is the end of the stream. You feel me? You said, Jay, will you ever gonna get back on 2K? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. Especially with the cheaters. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. You don't think I see about cheaters? I stopped playing 2K I think I stopped playing 2K at least 1, 2, 3, 4 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 months ago. It wasn't a bad game, but I stopped playing because of cheaters. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I faced a cheater and I was done. Like I faced the beginning of cheating. You know what I mean? I caught it. Like I was like, I'm done. Like I faced a dude that was doing spinning threes, all type of stuff, wasn't missing nothing, averaging like 50 points a game. You know what I mean? I was done, bro. You know what I mean? But anyways, man, I appreciate everybody for joining the stream. Y'all know every upload that I reacted to will be uploaded to the YouTube channel, man. It's your boy